Hello and welcome back to What's Streaming. We're going a bit green this week, but not how you think the way we will. We are talking all things She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, and to join me this week, none other than Rob, as always. Hi, Rob. How are we?
Hello, I'm good. I'm tired. I'm ready to talk about this finally.
Very, very excited to be hulking out. And this week we are joined by Streamer News' very own Stephanie. How are you, Stephanie?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm really good. I'm sure you're both a bit envious. For context, I've just woken up and these two have not slept yet, so it should be a fun episode. So She-Hulk Attorney at Law is finally out. Episode 1 debuted today. What did you guys both think of the first episode? And go wild with
Man,
spoilers.
man. I loved it. I love the world building, especially. Or we're not. I don't even know if you call it world building, but the way they built out more of Bruce's journey, um, with this little lab, and then we got some more backstory on how involved Tony was with it that we actually had never heard about before this. I'm very curious about one thing. I'll let Stephanie get her thoughts out, but I'm very curious about the helmet that was next to the bar
Yeah,
or the
yeah.
door. I'm very curious about that. But yeah, Stephanie, go ahead.
For me, I really enjoyed it. I really liked the first episode. I felt like it was well paced. Usually, when it comes to first episodes, I feel like they do it too quickly, or the story is too like, I don't know, like it's all at once. But I really enjoyed it. I really like how not only we learn about, just like what Rob said, Banner's backstory, but we also like kind of got a little bit of Jen's too.
Yep.
We weren't just thrown into it. We actually got to learn more. So I really liked it.
It was nice to get the origin, not in the penultimate episode
Yeah.
of the Disney, of a Disney MCU series. So
No, definitely. I think the stuff with Banner, despite it being Jen's show, I did really like just it fleshed out Bruce a bit. Um and just stuff like obviously the initials engraved on the top of the tiki bar, the helmet as well, which when I spotted it, I was like, "Ooh, I wonder what that
I've been
is."
trying to study and figure out
Um
what helmet
because
it
it's
is.
like a blue and gold.
I thought it was a
Yeah.
rescue at first, but her armor didn't get that messed up.
No.
My only thought is that it could be an extra one from the Iron Legion, from
Yeah.
Iron Man 3.
Mm.
When I saw it, obviously there's like an eye hole where I thought it was an arrow, but it's definitely like blue and goldy. I think maybe
Little bit, yeah. I don't think it's a helmet that we may have actually seen Tony wear, but yeah,
just a nice little touch.
yeah.
Um, so as for the origins, obviously in the comics, Jen gets her powers sort of a bit differently, but the idea is there. How did you both feel about were you fine with it or
Yeah, yeah. I thought it was really creative. I didn't expect it that way. I expected a blood transfusion like before. Um, but I like the idea that it was crazy because it's such a small way that it happens
yeah.
by literally just her helping him out of the car, and you wouldn't even see that it came in contact with her like open wound.
Mm,
But then it just starts happening, and she changes, and I thought that was pretty dope.
they both
I
Hulk
actually
out.
I actually like had to rewind it to like rewatch it because I was just like, wait, hold on, what just happened? It just felt so quick. I was like, what? But yeah, I really like that. That was actually really cool, the way how they did it. So it's yeah, yeah.
The slow-mo shot of Jen and Bruce panicking and you've got flaming hot Cheetos just flying
I
through the
know,
car.
I
It was
know.
so funny. Um but yeah. That's another thing. Obviously, it's a comedy, but I laughed more than I expected.
Mhm.
And that goes for the rest of obviously the episodes we saw.
Uh,
Um, because I was expecting to laugh, but I thought it was going to be a bit more light-hearted. But they just seem to have really gone for the jokes and have gone all in, and all kinds of jokes as well. Obviously, breaking the fourth wall,
oh my
um,
gosh.
little little lines under the breath of some people's characters, and it is quite a funny show. Um,
It's probably the funniest so far, other than for me personally, I think the funniest MCU project is Ant-Man 1. I think Ant-Man 1 is hilarious, but so far, this is not comedy. I thought the MCU would be like the style of comedy they're doing is not a thing I thought the MCU would ever do. But I love it, and I think the fourth wall breaking really seals the deal for me because some of the jokes that aren't even in episode one that people haven't even gotten to see yet are amazing, and some are super meta, and I love it.
Yeah, I also really enjoyed well, I won't spoil anything for the rest of the episodes, but what I really liked about the fourth wall is like not only was it just about like jokes, just a cracking jokes, it also felt like you were with Jen throughout the whole course of it. You felt like you were part of her like inner circle. So that's what I really liked about it. So it was not only just, oh, let's just crack jokes here and there. It was more like, oh, kind of like a documentary in a way. You pause the documentary, you kind of like talk to a friend. You're like, oh yeah, this is what's going on. So that's what I really liked about it.
the episodic format, as I like to call it, the 30-minute legal comedy works so well. And I just think they've nailed it perfectly to the point where you can have two storylines happening at the same time, and the progression of the episode just feels really natural. There's an episode where Jen's off doing something and someone else is doing their own thing, and I thought it was going to be a clunky mess as soon as the two storylines sort of split, but they eventually meet at the end, and it's actually a really good conclusion to the episode.
Mm.
I don't know if you both agreed with that. I won't say what episode it is, but I think you can sort of.
I think I know which one you're talking about, where it kind of meets at the end for just a little silly
Yeah.
moment. No, the way that I put it in my social reaction, this is a Marvel show, understanding that it is a television show. And the way that Mo's been describing that I agree with is that you could not chop this up and edit it into a movie, which you can do with almost every other other than What If, um and almost every other Marvel show they've done so far. uh it's great to get this procedural uh MCU show because it's just these quick fun adventures that it's not that it's non-serialized, because it is a very serialized series, but it has hints of non-serialization in it by just on average the case of the episode or the plot of the episode in general will be wrapped up within that episode or an episode and a half in the middle of the next episode, and then it'll kick start something new. um and I think it works so well for what story they're trying to tell here.
100%. Do you have anything to say, Stephanie, about the format, the layout of the series?
I really like it. I really like this format. I feel like it's not like prolonging to the point where like viewers will be bored, because I know a lot of shows they tend to like be so long and eventually viewers are like, okay, where are we going to be at? And it's like I enjoy how they kind of like make it into like a short story format. I really, and it keeps you like wanting to know what's going to happen, but you don't want it to like quickly be over. But again, it's like you just it's perfect. I absolutely love that. And for me, when it comes to long formats, I do like them as well, but I feel like with She-Hulk, with longer format storylines, it would be kind of like daunting in a way.
Mhm.
So I feel like viewers are like this is a show that's gonna like really, it's just for everyone to enjoy. So
Yeah, no, the with it, I think I agree on the fact that it's perfect um for this format because uh the way that the other shows were paced and why it was such a big issue in criticism was because not every because there was one overarching plot and everything one episode tied into the next and tied into the next. Some episodes would progress the story like at a million miles a minute, and then another episode you barely go anywhere with the story, almost as if it was close to being filler,
Yeah,
to just push towards the finale. And in this one, you're never going to get that because each episode has their own individual story, for Jen to tackle, alongside of what we have seen so far, what seems to be some form of overarching plot, like in the background.
yeah,
Or in the first four that we've seen, there's only been like one or maybe two things pointing to the
yeah.
major thing going on. Um, and just I think focusing on the immediate story and what's going on with Jen at that moment works so much better.
Obviously, in the first episode, we have the nice little beach setting,
Mhm.
and Bruce is adamant on teaching Jen to be a superhero. Where would you guys like to see Jen pop up next in the MCU?
Mm.
Would you rather her be more of a street level character, or do you reckon she's gonna chin Kang?
I gotta think about this one. Stephanie, you can go first if you know.
for me, I kind of would like her to be like street level, like Daredevil, going through the like her regular life as like a lawyer in the courts, but then like at night, I guess you can say, like she's just like a hero. So it would be cool for her like to chin check kind, like that would be cool.
Yeah.
Like that would be cool if she would, but yeah, I actually would like her to be more street level and probably like meet well Matt, you know
Yep.
so that'd be really cool.
Uh, yeah, I guess I kind of agree in a way. I would want her to stay street level. I mean, the only other things I want her to appear in is like uh a I don't know, like a pop up in the Daredevil series, since we know that Daredevil will be in this one.
Yep.
A pop up there. But when it comes to like being a part of the overall Marvel universe, of course, if we ever get another Hulk project, I would love for her to be in that. And um and then major crossover movies. Yes, I mean, I feel like it'll be the same way for Spider-Man and maybe Daredevil, that like these characters will be confined to their own little section of the Marvel universe, dealing with their own villains and stuff. But whenever things do start to pop off, like they'll always be there because that's how it's always been in Marvel. You have, like, I even remember in Avengers Disassembled, uh it, it that's a good example because they have so many characters that are a part of that story in the background. And I think the MCU is going to go this way where everybody's going to be a part of their own little part of the Marvel universe. But whenever you get to a big event and then you look at the crowd of heroes, you can just kind of pinpoint like, oh, that person's here now. That person's here now. So yeah, it's kind of how I'd want Jen to be.
Just the thought of Daredevil showing up in the next Avengers film is
Ah,
pretty exciting.
I know. Like, when you think about Secret Wars, like Secret Wars is, it doesn't. I feel like at that point, it doesn't even matter for the story. You're just going to take every major actor you can that plays a superhero in the MCU and try and put them in it somehow, one way or another. So yeah.
We've talked about Banner. We've talked about Jen. Let's turn our attention to other people showing up in the show. Without spoiling,
Okay.
who is your favorite character from the 4 episodes we watched? So I'm gonna go first. I
Say it.
it's pretty close between 2 of Marvel's best characters ever, Wongers
Wongers.
and Madison.
Yeah.
I'm so glad they put Madison in a trailer
Oh yeah, it's like they
because
knew. It's like they knew.
we can actually say, yeah, Madison and Wonger.
That's so beautiful. Oh my, that's like genuinely from the little bit that we got, probably my favorite like side character in the MCU. That like, oh, and the fact that no, can't get into spoiler territory. Can't, but Madison, 100%
Yeah.
best other character. Yeah.
Just having like, I don't know, it was unexpected. She's like an unexpected
Yeah.
character that you would have thought, I guess, like, not trying to spoil anything, but pretty much like those 2 characters connecting. It's unexpected. So
Yeah.
it's fun to see how Madison is just, how she brings out, I guess, the comedic of like Wong.
Yeah.
So I like that part so much. I remember watching it, I was just like, I was like, queen. She's the queen. She like her name. Well, this won't be a spoiler, but her last name is King, right? But like watching her, I was like, oh, she's a queen right there. She is a queen.
100%. Oh my gosh, I love it.
She really slayed.
Oh, that's the definition of it.
Madison King slayed. Okay, from the 4 episodes ranked, because I had a bit of thought of this. I was gonna put it in my reaction, but I thought, maybe not. Where would you rank She-Hulk in terms of all the other series set in the Marvel universe on Disney Plus? Because
So
I think it's a tough one to do now, but I don't know, because my
definitely tough.
impression is the show is on an upward incline.
Upward, and if they just keep doing what they've been doing with the 4 episodes,
Yeah.
then I mean, I don't know. My thoughts, and I told Mo this, and I hate it because it happens every time a new Marvel show comes out. In order, it's literally been like, oh, this one's my new favorite. And then the next one comes out, I'm like, no, this one's definitely my new favorite. That was better than the last. And then no, it happens again. And it's consistently been happening. Like right now, from what I have seen, and if the show continues like this, it is easily my favorite Marvel show they've done so far.
And we're getting Daredevil in a few weeks.
I know, right? I don't know if that continues and then it hits Daredevil. Daredevil might be my plateau right there. I might stick on that one. Let the next couple releases still have that be my favorite.
That's one thing I really like about Marvel. That's something I really like about it. Like I don't know. For me, I guess it could be biased on my opinion because I love Marvel. I've been, such a big fan.
Are we Marvel shows here? We're Marvel shows,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Go. I mean, we're biased and we don't care.
Exactly. Like every show that comes out, I'm just like, oh, this is such a good show. Then the next show, I'm just like, wait a minute, this is actually good, and it gets better and better. So
yeah.
I can't say the same for the movies. I will say, the movies are up and down for me, but the
Yeah.
shows so far have just been stacking on top of each other.
And I feel like the films have always been like that.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I dread to think what, without Disney Plus, what the Marvel Cinematic
Oh my
Universe
gosh, where would we be right now?
would look like.
We would be at like, I feel like we'd be at like Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Ye-
If okay, so if we take Disney Plus out and we say that each of the shows they made was actually cut up into a movie and it was released at 4 year.
Oh, are we including the COVID sort of break in the
Yeah, I
middle?
guess yeah.
So, One Division would have been where Black Widow was.
Hmm.
And then wait, no, yeah,
Yeah.
One Division in that July, Falcon in that September where Shang-Chi was,
Yeah.
Loki November, and then that's 2020 out the way. Black Widow early 2021. So we would have been at like Hawkeye by now.
God,
Maybe.
dude. Oh my
Like,
gosh. You
yeah, I
wouldn't
think
even had
so.
Moon Knight yet? No.
I don't think
Wait, no, Moon Knight. Yeah, no,
probably not.
yeah, no, we
Maybe.
wouldn't. Unless, I mean, if they're lining up with all the movies they've released. Yeah, thank God for Disney Plus. Because I it was a special 10 years from Iron Man to Endgame. But
Mm.
man, if we had to sit through another 10 years to get to Secret Wars, thank you, Disney Plus, for letting us double the speed of everything.
Exactly. A lot of people get, they get upset about this. They're like, "Oh, it's going too quickly," and I'm like, "It's going perfectly. Like, what do you want?"
Yeah.
Exactly.
The two sort of, I say timelines, the two parallel releases on Disney Plus and the cinemas are now at a level where there is so much storytelling and it's not even, well, I mean, for some people are getting tired out, but I think it's the progression now is the best it will ever be. And we don't have any more Disney Plus series this year, do we? We have Guardians special, we have the Halloween special, but I think in terms of Marvel, we're done for the rest of the year, minus Black Panther.
Black Panther, we
Mm.
got those two. Yeah.
Um,
Unless they do something crazy, but there's nothing that they could possibly be doing that they aren't already just filming right now. So,
hmm.
I mean, after that, what do we have? What do we have after Black Panther?
Um, well, next year we've got Loki season 2. We've got Ant-Man.
No, it'll be Quantum Mania, or no, will it be the Marvels?
The
No, they
Marvel
swapped.
Ant-Man's
show.
first in it. Oh no, the
They
Marvel.
swapped or something. I remember
Let me have a
they
look.
one
Phase.
went in front of the other, and then we also get Secret Invasion as well. I just can't remember, like, after Black Panther, what would be the next one we're getting?
So after Black Panther is Quantum Mania in February,
Yeah.
and then Secret Invasion, whenever that is, in early 2023. Guardians 3 in May, Echo and Loki in the summer, Marvels in July, Ironheart, Agatha. Yeah, seems a pretty
Dang.
solid year. Should be good.
No, I mean, yeah, wait, so we're getting Ant-Man, the Marvels, and is those are the no, there's more movies next year, right? Is that it?
Blade.
A Blade is next year, yeah. And then what wouldn't no, it
Yeah,
wouldn't be
four
next
films. 4 films next year.
4 films, yeah, but now I'm looking ahead to like 2024.
Is
Wouldn't that
Cat
be
4,
yeah,
Thunderbolts, and then the rumored Deadpool 3,
Deadpool 3, but to make it 4,
Fantastic
that
Four,
that also, right?
Fantastic Four as well.
Yes, but unless Sony decides to stop, wouldn't 2024 be the year we expect the beginning of the new trilogy? for Spider-Man?
2017, 2019, yeah, probably.
I feel like 2024 we could also see. So we could possibly, if it lines up, get maybe 5 that year, which would be really, really interesting to see.
Venom 3.
Venom 3, that's probably 2024 as well, honestly.
Yeah. Halloween 2020.
Yeah, that'll be like October.
There's also like the secret projects we haven't heard yet.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely stuff in there that we have no idea about right now. Like I bet in between, I bet 2024 has the rumored Nova. I feel like Nova could be 2024 easily, especially if we get an announcement this year.
Yeah.
And I feel like they start ramping up really fast on that, especially for how big of a character that is on the cosmic side.
I'm quite excited for D23. Obviously, we're 4 weeks out, and given how much they announced at San Diego Comic-Con, I think we're gonna get, obviously maybe not as many announcements, but I think we're gonna get more clarification than anything.
Yeah,
I think we briefly mentioned this when we did the San Diego Comic-Con episode, but I think obviously we're going to get more stuff like casting and directors, I think. And I can't remember if it's true or not, but there was people said that we're meant to be getting the rest of Phase 5. But I can't remember if that's actually been said.
Yeah, I feel D23. I feel like D23's Marvel panel is going to act in the same way that the investor video was a couple years back, where like She-Hulk and Moon Knight and stuff were announced. I feel like it'll act like something like that, where they just kind of go through project to project. They just talk about the cast, and then I definitely like Fantastic Four. I really feel like we have a good chance of getting director and cast there.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, even if not the cast somehow, some way, we are 100% getting the director there. But I mean, I feel like then would be the perfect time to announce the cast for something like that, for it being 2 years away, to start building up the momentum to lead to it. So,
ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to D23, Steven Spielberg.
oh my God.
It's happening.
I know.
The Fablemans is actually the Fantastic Four, and we're getting it this year.
Could you imagine, filmed in secret, all on the volume?
Oh no, not the volume. Keep the volume away from the films.
Works for Star Wars. Star Wars. Marvel, the one time we've seen it.
I'm anxious to. Well, I don't know. I think it'll look better in Ant-Man, because they quite literally used it to create a grassy exterior for Thor. Obviously, they used it in that first scene with the Guardians, but I don't know. I hope, because obviously we already have an idea of what the quantum realm looks like. Maybe that'll have an effect on how they've designed it to work with the volume. So I'm hoping it's a lot better than how it was executed in Thor. So I don't know if you guys agreed or.
Yeah, I mean, the volume is just such an easier way to build out these background imagery, and instead of having to just completely animate it on a blue screen and build out this stuff behind them. I mean, people are literally sitting on like a laptop or a computer behind the camera. With just the 3D world being displayed on the LEDs, or whatever's on the volume. So it's like it's a much easier process, and I think it would work a lot better for Ant-Man, because you're going to be making these fantastical backgrounds that are not man-made, and they are not, they're these things that can act in their own ways with their own properties, because it doesn't exist versus Thor, who tried to use it for like natural things and just didn't work out
Yeah.
very well. So
And it just was a shame because Mandalorian got it so right.
I know.
It just made it so seamless. And I think obviously both titles have shown the range of getting it really right and getting it really wrong. So
Mhm.
yeah,
I wonder if there's going to be any serious post credit scenes.
I think there's no, actually no. I
Really?
think they are these comedic sort of light-hearted things. I think if anything's gonna happen that's gonna possibly set things up towards the end of the season, I
Mhm.
think they would actually be in the episode. I don't know. I think from the precedent set from the first four, they are very much like a last laugh sort of scene.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could be proven wrong in the finale. But yeah, that's just how I see it.
I'm just waiting how they're gonna like do the post credit scene for when Daredevil comes out, because if you notice all the post credit scenes, they have a connection with the episode.
Yep.
So I'm kind of like wondering like what they might have for his episode.
I'm really excited to see Daredevil in the mix of things now, having seen the 4 episodes.
He's gonna be in so much.
Yeah.
Like he's in. They brought him in, and now they're just like, we'll put him here, we'll put him here, and then we'll put him here.
Nice new suit,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And now that he's in the MCU, and they change costumes every movie, we're gonna get a lot of cool different costumes for Daredevil. I feel like which is gonna be really fun.
So Rob, do you have anything you want to say about episode 1 in particular?
Yeah, that fight scene between Bruce and Jen was quite something. We haven't really gotten a Hulk on Hulk fight since the Incredible Hulk. And it was really, really fun to see, especially in the way that you see the variations in which Bruce and Jen use their powers. Because you have Bruce who does the one gigantic thunderclap, and then you see Jen who can't do like the one big thunderclap, but realizes she can just play patty cake basically, and just like break eardrums of anybody who's not a Hulk. Which I hope that becomes like a genuine thing that she starts to do, as her version of the thunderclap. But I thought the fight was really cool. The training montages we got were really cool because I think it showed I think it was kind of a middle finger to all the people who said they nerfed Hulk.
Yep.
Just because we haven't seen him do those crazy things. But this dude chucked a gigantic boulder like into the stratosphere.
Oh yeah.
It
That was
burned
a
up
full on
his
meal,
ribs.
yeah.
Yeah, like this dude is still insanely strong. He just
Yep.
doesn't. He's just not super angry. He's just chilling, but he can still get that strong when he needs to. I mean, he's the only dude who could snap the Infinity Gauntlet and live.
Yep.
So I mean, yeah,
The goat.
the goat.
No, I really I mentioned it before, but I really liked Banner in episode 1. Because I feel like we haven't, obviously he was featured a bit more in Endgame, but I feel like we haven't had as much Hulk in the MCU as we should have.
Mhm.
Because I think Mark Ruffalo is great, and Twitter can say what they want about them making him more of a goofy character and obviously nerving him, but I like it. And I think episode 1 proves that he is still a really, really good character, and we obviously did we got to see a bit more of the Bruce, and with obviously the stuff with Tony. So yeah, I thought it was good. and obviously when Jen got thrown off the cliff, that was great.
Mhm.
That was brilliant.
Yeah. Um, I like I wish they would delve more into Bruce's MCU backstory, but I liked seeing Bruce come to the realization that Jen is her own person because he was treating her as if this Hulk scenario will be the exact same as his Hulk scenario. When it wasn't, because you're able to see right off the bat, uh, when Jen hulks out, uh, this She-Hulk is not an alter ego. It is
Mm.
not a second person living inside of this body. I mean, she is She-Hulk, and She-Hulk is her. Um, because she's already at peace with herself. She's not, a super broken person. Uh, Alongside the same way of the way she's able to control her anger, which I really liked how they tied that into her being a woman, and a woman's day to day kind of scenarios where they have to learn how to, control these things. And I really liked how they tied that into her transformation, because she doesn't have to go through the same things Bruce did, because she's already got these things under check to where she can go in and out with ease, and she got it down super duper easy and super duper fast. And I love the moment whenever she was yelling at him and she transformed and he was like, huh? And she was like, no, I was doing that myself. And then like just went back to normal. I really, really love that for both her and Bruce, and Bruce realizing that maybe his Hulk, it might be the only kind that's like that.
I really like how you brought that up. I also enjoy that. This is something I really liked about the show, and including with all the other episodes. But when it came to episode 1, which she really just talked about how, like, yeah, as women we are forced to, like, oh, you have to have that composure. You can't show that, like, if you're angry, if a woman is angry, they're like, you're emotional, and that's like, it kind of like, upsets you. It pisses me off because it's the truth. And that's something I really like, that they brought it in. They weren't, shying away from that, even from the very beginning, where when Jen wakes up, she goes to the bar, and then she goes into like the bathroom, and you see like the women who come in, and they're like, oh my god, like, what's going on, like, let's help you. And I really like that. Of course there's always going to be those people, not calling out any names, but there's going to be men out there who can be like, oh, this show is going to be, it's so female, so feminine, and all that stuff. But in reality, one thing I really liked about it is that when it came to the story, they weren't shying away from it, and that's the reality of being a woman. It's tough. And I even talk, and for me, like, I'm Latina, so in Latin cultures, in our culture, there's a lot of what we call machismo, which is I'm kind of like losing it right now, but we kind of are set into this like role where, you have to do this. Women are there to like clean and to do all this stuff, while men go out to work. And this show didn't shy away from the reality of it, and something I really like. And that's something I feel every woman will like understand. So yeah, I like that. I really like that they're not shying away from it. They're showing the reality of it. And as we go into the episodes, you see it even more. I'm not gonna spoil it or anything, but yeah, you see more into it. So I really like that.
As a man, I love how much they made fun of men in
Yeah.
this show, especially from just in the first episode when they both jump and they land and Hulk's doing his hulking out thing. She's just going, man, man. I thought that was hilarious. I think I think having Jen right off the bat be a confident, like self-loving, independent woman, just straight out of the get-go of the show, was such a good thing, for the character as a whole and for all the characters around her. because we don't have to go through the arc where they have to learn to become their own person. And it's like Jen is confident, and I love it.
Yep.
Like unbelievable confidence from her, even though she's got turned into a giant green, like monster. Like I love it.
Yeah, I even talked about this in my reaction tweet, where I talked about how, like, even though Jen, she becomes this like 6'7" strong, like being where she could literally knock out anyone out. She's like, she's still seen as lesser, like from other people, like men. She's still seen as, oh yeah, you're just a woman, even though she's 6'7", she could literally like knock any guy out. But they still see her as just, oh yeah, you're just a woman.
That dude that she went on a date with was like, how much you deadlift? She's like, a literal ton. He's like, yeah, well, I just did 600 and I ain't even a superhero. So I'm like, all right,
Exactly.
dude, nice.
She's
Nice,
a 6. She's a 6 for sure, man.
Oh my God,
my
that
God.
guy. Oh my gosh.
All right then. I think that brings the She-Hulk episode to an end. Obviously, don't forget to follow Streamer on Twitter. We are on Instagram as well and TikTok. And you can always check us out on the website, thestreamer.com. There's no E. Rob and Stephanie, thank you for today. It has been a pleasure. You can check out Stephanie's review of She-Hulk in full on the website that is now live. And obviously you can find all our socials in the description. So yeah, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Even though you say thank you for being on every time, even though I'm like a co-host.
Yeah, I just want to thank you, Rob. But yeah, we will see you very soon for another episode. Take care.